Hi there, Wallopini Woman here, and today we are going to make some berry freezer jam. I've got berries on my property, got raspberries, Marion berries, which are basically a thornless blackberry, and I've got blueberries. And all three are coming off simultaneously, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and make a triple berry freezer jam. And I don't know about you, but I love the taste of berries, and I love to have them year-round, and this is one way that I'm able to do it, is by making freezer jam. So come along today, and we'll get jamming. So, step one, sanitize the containers you're going to put it in. If it's glass, make sure you run it through some boiling water or a very hot dishwasher. And if it's plastic, like what I'm going to use, these are by Ball, and these are a half pint. So these are going to hold a cup each. Make sure you sanitize those first. That's step one. Step two, read the instructions in the fruit pectin box that you buy. Today, we're using this one. It's Sure Gel, and it's premium fruit pectin, and this is the full sugar method. If you wanted to cut your sugar because you're diabetic or whatever, you can go ahead and make your jam with this one. However, I don't believe that freezer jam works with this because it takes actual sugar. But you can still make low sugar to no sugar jam with this. And you do that with a cooked jam. With this one, we're making freezer jam, and you could make a cooked jam out of this, but we aren't. Well, we're not going to cook most of it. Anyway, read the instructions first. We're going to wash our berries, and then we're going to measure them out. And you want to measure the cup with the exact amount of fruit. So if it calls for 6 cups of blackberries, don't crush your berries first and then put them in. You want to put them in whole because that's how it says to do it. So we're going to go ahead and measure out our berries. I'm not sure how many we have, but it takes 6 cups to go ahead and make the berry recipe with one single box. When you're measuring your berries, you're just going to reach in, grab a bunch, and put them in. This is a 2-cup container, so that's about 2 cups. That's 4 cups. Six cups. So that's enough for one. And so one box, that's 6 cups. That's exactly what the recipe requires. And so that would be one box. Now I've got more berries, so we're going to go ahead and figure out exactly how many berries and how many boxes we need to make this one big huge batch. So I had another 6 cups, plus I've got about 2 cups left over that I'll save for later to have with some homemade vanilla ice cream, and it'll be delicious. So we'll be using 2 boxes of our Sure Gel today. The first thing we're going to do, once we have our berries all measured out and in the bowl, we're going to mash them. And I just use my potato masher. Now, some people like whole fruit, more whole fruit in their freezer jam, and so you just want to mash a little bit. But some people like to have a nice smooth jam, and so you're going to mash a little bit more. Now, if you wanted to remove the seeds, you could do that through a sieve. I personally like all the seeds. I don't have a problem with them, and so I keep the seeds. We're going to mash these up, and once you have them at the consistency that you like in your freezer jam, you can stop mashing. I like to have a nice mixed slurry, and that way the blend of all the berries comes together. You're still going to have a lot of whole blueberries. In fact, those are going to be most of what you have whole in there, but they're going to be delicious. And then next, the blackberries or Marion berries. All right, so that's about where I like it. Okay, calls for 5 1/4 cups of sugar per box. We're making 2, so that's 10 1/2 cups. That's 5 1/4. And that's 5 1/4. And now we're just going to mix it all up and get that sugar in with the juices of all those berries. They're going to go ahead and just mellow out here with the sugar. I'm going to mix a little bit, then let them sit. Mix a little bit and let them sit. And that sugar will start dissolving. You want to wait maybe 5-10 minutes in between mixing and just seriously let it sit. On the stove, it requires 3/4 cups of water per box of sugar gel that we're going to use. So that's 1 1/2 cups. And you're going to put it on the stove top, and you are going to deposit your packages of sugar gel into it. We're just going to go ahead and stir that up. What we're going to do is going to bring this to a boil. So this is going to be just a little while. We'll come back once it's boiling. Okay, this is about to boil. Once it starts beginning to boil, we're going to let it boil for 1 minute, and then we're going to pour it into our berry mixture. Okay, our mixture has been boiling for a minute. And so now we're just going to take it and pour it right on in here and mix this up really good. Now the sugar isn't going to completely dissolve, but it will mostly dissolve. And so you don't want it to have any kind of a gritty feel or very little grit to it. You can hear a little bit along the edges of the bowl. Little grit is fine, a lot is not. You want your sugar to dissolve mostly. And that's the key, is getting that sugar dissolved so that your gel sets. If it doesn't dissolve, it won't set. Guaranteed. And your freezer jam is a little bit looser set than a cooked jam is going to be. So this is really an important part of your mixture, is getting the sugar dissolved. Now when it has a super glassy look on top, you're there. Very little sugar to it. You can barely feel any grit in there. So good. Okay. Next, you're going to just go right ahead and put it into your jars or whatever containers you're freezing it in. Okay, all of my containers are ready, and we have the berries just there, and we're gonna use this handy dandy canning sieve to go ahead and put our berries in jars. And if you'll remember, one of these will take 1 cup of the mixture. So let's go ahead and start getting it in there. See, it's already starting to get thick. See that? You want to leave a little bit of room up top. Look how thick that's getting already. That's why you got to get going on this stuff. Killer making content. All right, make sure you leave enough room at the top, about 1/4 inch, so that you have enough for it to expand in the freezer, because it will expand just a little. All right, and it's hard not to make a mess, of course. So even with your canning funnel, you're still going to have a little bit of messy, and so you'll want to clean that up before you put your lids on and get all the outsides nice and clean. Okay, we have our jam in our jars and all of our lids are on. We're going to just let this set on the counter for 24 hours at room temperature, and then we'll go ahead and put it in the freezer. Now, something else I like to do with this type of jam is I love to make it into a vodka lemonade or just a regular lemonade without the vodka. It is delicious. Makes a great cocktail in the summer. And take a tablespoon of this stuff, put a couple tablespoons of balsamic vinegar and a tablespoon of oil, and you have a delicious summer salad dressing. Couple berries in your salad, oh my goodness, to die for. Thank you for joining me today on Wallapini Woman. I hope you learned something today, and I hope your jam is as good as mine or better. Now go get jamming.